Courtney and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already watched it, I suggest checking out my comfort reads to get you through the winter vlog, where I go over so many books that make me smile and make the winter months a little bit more bearable. Also, I'm on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, so feel free to follow me there. The links are in the description below. All right, so today is very interesting since I am recovering from having COVID for the second time. The first time was back in November 2020 and I felt terrible. Luckily, I didn't have any complications or anything. It was just a fever and headache, extreme fatigue and exhaustion and body aches. So this time I am double vaxxed and boosted, but I woke up a few days ago with body aches, headache, and fatigue, but no fever, thank goodness. So while I'm recovering, I am trying to get ahead with some of my vlogs and things like that. So today will be a February TBR, since why not? It's 2 weeks before February anyway. Thought I'd just get it out of the way. I don't know, I'm just trying to be productive, but also rest at the same time. But just took a shower, feel a little bit better. Slept a lot the last 2 days, took a lot of naps, and yeah, am recovering. So fingers crossed I am on the upswing and all that good stuff. But yes, thought I'd give that little update since I have been not that active on social media if you follow me there, but I did let people know that I was tested positive, and then I let family, friends, and people that I've been in contact with know that as well. So yes, luckily, this is pretty mild in comparison to some other folks, but just wanted to let you all know I'm doing okay and wanted to get this video out for you all on time on Monday. We are doing the February to be read. There's no fun game or anything with this. I had already picked out books I wanted to read for the month of February. One, for it being Black History Month, and two, for it being Valentine's Day and leading up to that. So the first half of the month, as I'll go through the books I have planned, is more romance reads. So I don't think I've had much content when it comes to romance and those kind of novels. Like, I enjoy a good romance and contemporary romance novel, but I don't like binge them all at once. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different. So the first half of the month leading up to February 14th, I'll be reading a few solely dedicated romance novels and doing a vlog about that. That will release on February 14th, which is a Monday, the day that I usually post videos anyway, so that works out. And then the second half of the month will be dedicated to Black writers, Black stories, and all of that. So very excited to dig deeper into these different kinds of content, kinds of novels. I will say too, I've seen a lot of content out there already, especially since MLK Day has passed here in the US. Last week, there's been some commentary of like, that's great that you're supporting Black writers and Black authors, but do so throughout the year, not just on these designated holidays. And that's the same with other holidays that are dedicated to certain peoples or diversity or populations. So I know June is Pride Month, but there's time to read LGBTQIA plus books throughout the whole year. And then Indigenous Peoples Day and month is in October and November time. So again, just wanted to reiterate that it's possible to read these books all throughout the year. I am reading a few for the month of February that are dedicated to Black writers and Black stories, but know that I'm reading them throughout the whole year as well. And I encourage folks to do that if you're able to, and if you're being intentional about your reading throughout the year. So wanted to make that statement as well. I am excited about the books I have chosen and can't wait to share with you all what those look like. So the first book I have for the romance readathon, read-along that I'll be doing for February is A Lot Like ADIÓS by Alexis Daria. And I have read her other novel, You Had Me at Hola, last year, I believe, when that came out, and loved it. It's super steamy, but I love that it was geared towards like older crowd, like adults that had kids already and were like deep in their careers and everything. I'm not sure what this one is about yet, but I know it's probably gonna be another steamy Latinx romance novel that I'm super excited about. I loved for the first one, it was geared more towards the telenovela kind of feel, and like I'm a big fan of Jane the Virgin, and that's like brilliantly told in like telenovela style, but it's freaking amazing. So I don't know if this is going to follow that same route, but I am excited nonetheless to kick off February with a steamy romance like this. Okay, I'm not going to throw these because there's 2 of them. So then I'm continuing with the Bridgerton series. So I've already read The Duke and I, which is Daphne's story in terms of the Bridgerton series. I'm skipping Anthony because I'm not really a big fan of his. If you've seen the TV show, he is the eldest brother, and he's kind of like a player, like sleeps around a lot kind of guy, and let a really good girl go because she wasn't in the same like social hierarchy or social status as he was. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of his. So I skipped on to a few other folks. So I skipped on to Penelope and Colin. So Penelope is the friend, and that is, oh gosh, that's this one, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. So Penelope is the friend of the family, but she likes the third brother, Colin. And then we have Eloise, who's my favorite character. She's like independent, really strong, and like speaks her mind. And it's not all about like, let's go off and get married and have kids and everything. She wants to develop her mind and have a profession and all that kind of stuff. But she is the main story of To Sir Philip with Love. So these are by Julia Quinn. I've got these at a used bookstore attached to, I think it was a Habitat for Humanity store, and all the proceeds from the bookstore go back into the community for helping folks with their homes and getting like essential things like clothes and things for their house. So I was glad to have found these there. The whole series was there in like beautiful condition, these style or these formats of books, but I only wanted these 2 because they're the only characters I really care about. I could have gotten the whole series for like 20 bucks total, but I didn't want to be that greedy. Plus I have plenty of other books I need to read, but these will be the 2 Bridgerton books I will read for part of the Valentine's Day vlog. And then the last book for Valentine's Day vlog is All the Feels by Olivia Dade. So this, I don't think I've read any of her other books, but I picked this up when I was in Black Mountain, North Carolina at Sassafras on Sutton, which is an independent bookstore there in this really small town, like mountain town, which was super cool. And this was on the shelf with a lot of other books that are recommended by booksellers across the United States. And this one I had seen and was very intrigued by. I've known a few people who've read it and loved it, and I cannot wait. I think it'll be really fun. love story and kind of like quirky and cute at the same time. And then we're transitioning into Black History Month for me in terms of reading for the rest of February with a few other books. First we have Passing by Nella Larson. So this has been on my TBR for a little while. I haven't seen the Netflix film or adaptation yet. I know they've talked about this. Starbucks has like this partnership with Netflix where they sit down and like discuss the book and the movie or the adaptation with like a cup of coffee. And I'm like, this is freaking genius. And I think this was the first one they talked about. I can't remember, but I mean, I still want to read this before I actually watch the adaptation, which I try to do a lot when there's different versions or adaptations available. If I know about it, I will try. But this is about a Black woman who is able to pass as white because of the lightness of her skin color. So I'm very familiar with this, like as a mixed race person. I can understand how that happens, and I love reading those kind of stories where, I don't know, it's a challenge where you want to be successful, but you don't want to forget who you are and your identity. So it's a struggle sometimes, and I definitely understand that. So I just like reading how others handle it or how they engage with their environments and like the people around them and what that looks like for them. So I know it's challenging regardless talking about race, but when it comes to not really knowing what person's race is or like passing as something else, it's very, very challenging. And it sounds bad that I'm excited to read about it, but I am. I want to know more about what that looks like for this character and other characters in the story. Then we're jumping into some fantasy-ish kind of story with Cinderella is Dead by Bayron. And this I'm super excited about. It's like years past the time that we know of Cinderella. And let me just read you the back of the book to get you an idea because I'm terrible at the synopsis of this. It's been 200 years since Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is over. Now teen girls are required to appear at the annual ball where they are selected as wives by the men of the kingdom. Any girl without a suitable match is forfeit. 16-year-old Sophia would much rather marry Aaron, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes a desperate decision to flee and finds herself hiding in Cinderella's mausoleum. There she meets Constance, the last known descendant of Cinderella, and her stepsisters. Together they vow to bring down the king once and for all, and in the process they learn that there's more to Cinderella's story than they ever knew. Wow, that looks freaking amazing, and I'm a big fan of like alternative fairy tales or like different aspects or perspectives of fairy tales. Like All the Ever Afters was amazing, and that talked about Cinderella's stepmother Agnes and like her whole story and backstory and everything. So very excited about this and a different kind of spin on what we know of Cinderella. And last we have The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. So this was a Pulitzer Prize winner many years ago. I have several of Colson Whitehead's books that I haven't been able to read yet or haven't been in the right mind or frame to read them. So this I picked up in, I think, just the northern edge of South Carolina when I was on my winter break trip. It's about two young black men in a 1960s juvenile like detention center called the Nickel Academy, and they kind of form a friendship and kind of manage what it's like inside that academy at that time in the US history. So this I think will be very profound, very revealing. It's based off true stories of schools and academies like this. And yeah, Colson Whitehead, I know, is a genius and shares stories of like Black history in a very profound way that is very engaging and very raw at the same time. So yes, those are the books I plan to read for the month of February. As always, they are subject to change based on not availability because they're right there. But I do have one coming in the mail soon that might change my romance novel reading vlog. It's Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. So that I had pre-ordered, and I think I get like a signed book plate that I get to put in there as well. So Colleen Hoover is one of my all-time favorite like novelists. Like her romance books are the ones I've read the most of, and I attended a virtual event with her and another romance writer, and they talked about like their favorite characters, books they would change, and all that kind of stuff. And they talked a lot about this book that had just come out, but they didn't reveal any spoilers, obviously. So that one I might have to sneak in there if it doesn't come by the end of this month. And that might be a dedicated reading vlog too. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. But that one I'm super excited about. Anyway, yes, so that is the plan for February. February always is a short month. It's only 28 days, right? It's not a leap year this year, I don't think. So if I do finish all of these, I'll probably pick something from my TBR jar. Wait, you haven't seen my TBR jar. So I have written on all these tiny pieces of paper all the books that I own that I have not read. So my unread shelf books are in this jar, and I'm excited to start pulling these out. I think I will start, if end of this month I am able to, I will pick them out in February, but March will be the first month that I will be picking solely from this jar, except for one. I know I'm reading A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara during that month, and I'm doing a buddy read with my friend Erin over on Instagram. So yes, I am very excited to be able to use this. Hopefully I don't need to add any more. I did buy a Valentine's Day mystery box from the Book Loft. That should be coming any day now. I think I did ship to store, so I'll be driving up to Columbus to pick that up and check out a few places up there and maybe buy some books. Terrible, but my goal is to unhaul a bunch of books. I'm already reading some for the month of January that I know I'm going to unhaul at least 2 of them, right? 2 out of 3 that I finished at this point in time I'm going to unhaul. Not because they were bad, but because I think one time was enough for me to read through them, and I want to share them with some other folks. So I'll find some little free libraries nearby. Speaking of little free libraries, I'm gonna be coming out with a blog post soon that's all about literary apps and literary websites for you to check out for different resources or ways to engage with books. And Little Free Library will be one of them, since they just came out with their new app where you can look up different little free libraries in your area or wherever you travel and just check them out. I think that's gonna be freaking phenomenal. Anyway, I am going to relax. I chose to stand during this video because I've been laying down so much and sitting that my legs are like, I don't know what the term is when like restless leg syndrome, is that a thing? But they just needed to move and like be active, so I decided to stand. But now I'm like, okay, it's time for me to sit down and read some more. I have a puzzle that I'm working on too, and yeah, that's kind of my plan for the rest of this weekend, and I'll see how I'm doing. Like I said, I already feel better after sleeping for like 2 days and like not really doing anything else. Like even reading yesterday was such a struggle because my eyes were like going in and out, and like I had a slight headache that I couldn't really focus on things. So I think I'm in a much better place today, and hopefully that just gets better from here. Anyway, I appreciate you all being here and watching my content. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or comment down below some of your favorite romance novels or what you're excited for the month of February with Black History Month, and any books that you want to read for this upcoming month. And yeah, if you've read any ones that I've had on my TBR, let me know what you thought of them. If you want to subscribe, feel free to hit that button or the notification bell to know when I post next, and feel free to share it to a friend or tell a friend about the content I put out there. I love doing this for you all. I love being able to talk about books, share books with everyone, and really dig deeper into my reading life and share that as well. I haven't done my blog retreat yet. That'll be over President's Day weekend, so I'll be planning out a lot more stuff that I hope you all will enjoy, and that will kind of, I don't know, like give me way more energy than I already do now as it comes to talking about books and bookish things. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and happy reading.